I'm with Jeff Hall. And Jeff, you were a corpsman in the Navy. Tell me about your military history. Why did you enlist?
But honestly, I needed a job. I enlisted in 1987. I had a daughter, had a family, and telemarketing just wasn't cutting it anymore. No long-term benefits, and paycheck was here some days and not some others. So quite honestly, I needed a more security. And actually, what started out as just a job ended up being far more. I enlisted as a corpsman, and I spent a lot of time with the Marines. And initially, I went to a clinic, but once I spent my time with the Marines, it was just that's where it got real. That was with the camaraderie. I really felt it, and the challenge, and it just became pretty addictive. So I kind of rogered up for some more challenging assignments with the Marines, and continued my career that way. And here I am. Today, it's still serving. Actually, before I even retired, I started serving. I spent time with the Veterans of Foreign War. I've spent time also with the Merrimack Valley Food Bank, the American Legion, and some other veterans organizations. Because again, my career kind of slowed down just a little bit. I was in recruiting, so I wasn't operational and deployed. And I was in pretty much every time I deployed, we were engaged in service projects where we impacted areas like Indonesia during the tsunami, the Leyte, Philippines mudslide. We provided relief there as well, and some other places. It becomes before more than you realize. It becomes just deeply ingrained in you.
So those were some of your overseas deployments.
Those were some of my overseas deployments.
Wonderful. Very good. So when you came back, how did you hear about Mission Continues? What prompted you to apply for one of these fellowships?
It was something that I had heard about before through people at the VA clinic where I received my care, and I just didn't have the time. After I retired from the Navy, a corporate sales job for 2 years. Very rewarding, learned a lot, but it just didn't leave much time for anything else. And there was still a big part of me that was missing, and that was the service component. And that's where it actually, that's where it led me to where I'm at right now.
So when you applied, you looked into the program.
The Mission Continues.
And you that's right. You had been doing some service projects, and you mentioned this food bank in Lowell, Massachusetts. You were familiar with, and you wanted to do something there.
Yeah, absolutely, I was. But once again, before I did I loosed the thought about the Mission Continues and how I actually became a part of them. I participated in a service project at the Lowell VA Clinic, Natasha's service project, during her fellowship. And that's where I got a chance to really feel the impact, and I was blown away by what the Mission Continues was doing. I applied immediately after for a fellowship. I was accepted, and I was in Charlie class this year. Something that was very near and dear to me was the food bank, the Merrimack Valley Food Bank, and I decided to do my fellowship there because it was very near and dear to my heart. As a child, growing up in Chicago, oftentimes my family had to rely on food banks and food pantries, to survive. So it was an opportunity for me to give back. It was the perfect way for me to give back. And that's where I'm currently serving my fellowship right now. And we're increasing community awareness, our local community, Merrimack Valley. And we've made some great strides in increasing donations, food donations as well.
What do you intend to do when the fellowship is over?
It's still in my blood. I have to find another way to serve, and there are plenty of other ways to serve in our community, and we've already taken up some projects that are going to take me well beyond my fellowship as well.
What about a full-time job? Is there anything you have your eye on?
I quit my full-time job to serve full-time.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing currently.
That's what you're doing now. And once it's over, is there any one particular thing that you, or any one would you like to stay with this organization or do another project?
I would love to stay with the Mission Continues. Currently, I'm in school full-time at Northeastern, and I graduate next year with 2 masters.
In?
Public health and health informatics.
Nice. So you're certainly an advocate of Mission Continues, but also the food bank. Do you think you might continue to serve there even once the fellowship is over?
Absolutely. Yes. They're right around the corner, but not too far from my house, and I've had a relationship, and I see no reason not to continue serving them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your sort of your definition of the invisible scars that sometimes people bring home. You said you still felt that need, but when you do serve in a military type of role, things happen, and it can change you.
It does. It doesn't get much more personal than serving as a corpsman, particularly in the environments that we serve in with our brothers and sisters overseas. I did serve in Desert Storm. I did complete several deployments to the Middle East and throughout Asia, and these are our family. And so the wounds they feel, that we all bring some of them home, and it's just a matter of how we deal with them. And I deal with mine through service. If we take time to just really wallow and look at everything that we could focus on that may have gone wrong in our lives, that takes up a lot of time and a lot of energy. I'd rather spend that somewhere else that's going to be a lot more useful.
Okay, speak to that a little bit about the service.
Okay.
The desire.
The desire to serve, I can't speak for everyone, but I see it in my other brothers and sisters who have served, that they still have the need. For me, it comes even from childhood. I received, my survival largely dependent on a lot of people in my community, not far beyond my home, my immediate household, and I'm grateful for that. So everything that I do today basically really is out of an attitude of gratitude and love. I wouldn't be here without the help of many other people. I wouldn't have successfully completed my career without the efforts and input and mentoring and many other silent heroes behind the scenes that have helped me become really get to where I am right now. So why wouldn't I pay that forward? Why wouldn't I give that back?
Mm-hmm. And when you look into the eyes of the people that come to the food bank and need help, you've been there.
I have, and I've been involved, with the food bank here and there, for a period of years, and I've never seen it the way I see it now in my fellowship. It's never been this personal. Several grocers throughout the community who donate certain types of food well before their shelf life, things that aren't moving, and for whatever reason. And we go and pick them up in the morning and we deliver them several times a week to various organizations in the neighborhood. Some are battered wives' shelves, women's shelters, and things like that. Homeless shelters, veterans organizations, and the like. And
just like Natasha mentioned, Mission Continues has really been a life changer for you.
It has, in so many ways. It's given me it's given me peace. It really has. I have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and I'm treated for it. And I use the resources that are available. I'm in a yoga study right now. But beyond that, the service part really is therapeutic. Just getting out there and seeing people who, guess what, they might have it a little rougher than I have. So I can put my violin away and focus on them for a little